Have you ever wondered which civilization was the very first? The one that laid the foundation for everything, from writing and cities to government and laws? Well, today, we're traveling back over 5,000 years to uncover the origins of the first known civilization in human history. In this video, we'll explore the story of Sumer, the civilization that started it all. From the invention of writing to massive cities and temples, Sumerians shaped the world in ways you might not even realize. By the end of this video, you'll see just how much of our modern society traces back to these ancient pioneers. Before we dive into the first civilization, let's first understand what makes a civilization in the first place. A civilization isn't just a group of people living together. It's a highly organized society with key features that set it apart from simpler communities like small villages or tribes. These key features include 1. Organized cities. A civilization has large, permanent settlements that serve as political, economic, and cultural centers. These cities have planned infrastructure like roads, markets, homes, and religious sites. Unlike small villages, these cities become hubs of trade, governance, and innovation. 2. A writing system. Writing is one of the most defining features of a civilization. Early civilizations developed symbols and scripts to record trade transactions, laws, religious texts, and historical events. This allowed knowledge to be passed down across generations, leading to more advanced societies. The Sumerians were the first to develop writing, known as Cuneiform. 3. Government and laws. To manage large populations, civilizations create structured governments with rulers, officials, and laws. Leaders, often kings or councils, maintain order, protect the people, oversee construction projects, and enforce justice. The Sumerians were among the first to introduce written laws, laying the foundation for legal systems still in use today. 4. Specialized jobs. In a civilization, not everyone is a farmer. Some people become builders, merchants, priests, soldiers, artists, and scholars. This specialization allows for innovation, leading to the construction of massive buildings, new inventions, and advanced knowledge in areas like science, medicine, and engineering. 5. Culture and religion. Civilization is not just about buildings and laws, it's also about beliefs, traditions, art, and spirituality. Most ancient civilizations had organized religions, worshiping gods that controlled aspects of life, like the sun, rain, fertility, and war. They also created statues, paintings, music, and literature to express their cultural identity. Multiple civilizations emerged, but Sumer was the first. Now that we know what defines a civilization, let's talk about the very first one in history, Sumer. While many great civilizations rose over time, like the Egyptians, Chinese, and Indus Valley people, Sumer was the first true civilization, emerging around 3100 BCE in Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq. In this video, we'll dive deep into Sumer, its cities, and why it changed human history forever. The first civilization, Sumer. When did Sumer exist? Sumer is recognized as the first known civilization in human history, emerging around 3100 BCE and lasting until around 2000 BCE. During this time, Sumerians built some of the world's earliest cities and developed many innovations that shaped future civilizations. Where was Sumer located? Sumer was located in Mesopotamia, a region between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in what is now modern-day Iraq. This area was known as the Fertile Crescent because of its rich soil, which made farming highly productive. The rivers provided water for irrigation, allowing Sumerians to grow surplus food, which supported population growth and urbanization. The major cities of Sumer. Sumer was not a single unified kingdom but a collection of independent city-states, each with its own ruler and government. Some of the most famous Sumerian cities include Uruk, one of the first and largest cities in history. It is believed to have had a population of up to 50,000 people at its peak. It was home to King Gilgamesh, the legendary hero of the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the earliest literary works ever written. A powerful and wealthy city, known for its massive ziggurat or temple tower and advanced trade networks. It was the birthplace of the famous biblical figure Abraham, according to some traditions. Eridu, considered the oldest city in Sumer, Eridu was a religious center where early Sumerians believed civilization began. It was home to the Temple of Enki, the god of wisdom and water. Each of these cities had grand temples, bustling marketplaces, and organized governments, making Sumer the first true civilization in recorded history. Key achievements of Sumer, the first civilization's greatest contributions. The Sumerians didn't just build cities, they shaped the foundation of human civilization with innovations that still impact our world today. Let's explore their most important achievements. Writing system Cuneiform, the first writing in history. One of Sumer's most groundbreaking achievements was the invention of cuneiform, the world's first writing system, around 3100 BCE. Originally, they used pictographs, simple pictures to represent objects. Over time, these symbols evolved into wedge-shaped marks pressed into clay tablets using a stylus. Writing was first used for record-keeping, tracking trade, taxes, and laws. Eventually, Sumerians began using cuneiform for literature, myths, and history, leading to famous works like the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known stories. This invention was a turning point in history. Writing allowed knowledge to be recorded and passed down through generations. Advanced cities and ziggurats, the birth of urban life. Sumerians built some of the first organized cities in history, including Ur, Uruk, and Eridu. These cities featured infrastructure like wide streets, houses, shops, and public spaces. Markets and trade flourished as people gathered in bustling marketplaces to exchange goods like textiles, grains, and metals. City walls were built to protect against invaders. At the heart of each city stood a ziggurat, a massive, pyramid-like temple dedicated to the gods. These temples were multi-tiered, built from mud bricks, and served as both religious and administrative centers. The priests controlled temple wealth, food distribution, and even political decisions. These early cities set the blueprint for modern urban planning. Government and laws, the first city-states. Unlike empires, Sumer was made up of independent city-states, each ruled by a king. Each city had its own government, army, and economy. Kings were seen as chosen by the gods and acted as both war leaders and religious figures. Some of the earliest legal codes emerged here, influencing later laws like Hammurabi's Code. This system laid the foundation for political organization and lawmaking in future civilizations. Agriculture and irrigation, mastering the land. Mesopotamia was called the Fertile Crescent because of its rich soil, but farming wasn't easy. Floods and droughts were unpredictable. The Sumerians developed advanced irrigation systems, using canals, dikes, and reservoirs to control water from the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. They domesticated animals like oxen for plowing fields. Their farming advancements led to a surplus of food, supporting larger populations and allowing people to take on non-farming jobs like trading and craftsmanship. This was one of the first examples of organized agriculture, which would later spread across the world. The invention of the wheel, a game changer for transportation. The wheel is one of the most important inventions in history, and it started in Sumer around 3500 BCE. At first it was used for pottery making, allowing potters to spin clay more efficiently. Later, they adapted it for transportation, creating the first wheeled carts. These carts made it easier to transport heavy loads, improving trade, travel, and even warfare. Without the Sumerian wheel, modern transportation might not exist as we know it. Mathematics and astronomy, the base 60 system and early science. The Sumerians were pioneers in mathematics and astronomy. They created the base 60 number system, which is why we still use 60 minutes in an hour and 360 degrees in a circle today. They developed early forms of geometry, which were used for measuring land, constructing buildings, and tracking time. Their astronomical observations led to one of the first calendars, dividing the year into 12 months based on lunar cycles. These mathematical concepts became the foundation of modern science, mythology, and religion. the gods of Sumer. Religion was at the center of Sumerian life, influencing everything from government to daily routines. They were polytheistic, believing in many gods who controlled different aspects of life. Some major gods included Anu, the god of the sky and the father of the gods, and Enlil, the god of wind and storms, believed to control the fate of humans. Inanna, also known as Ishtar, was the goddess of love, war, and fertility. Sumerians believed that humans were created to serve the gods, and priests acted as intermediaries between people and deities. Their religious beliefs later influenced the mythologies of Babylon, Assyria, and even Greek and Roman traditions. The Sumerians weren't just the first civilization, they were trailblazers who gave us writing, laws, cities, the wheel, and even the way we tell time. Without Sumer, the world as we know it would be very different. How Sumer shaped the future of civilization. Sumer was the first known civilization, but its influence didn't end with its fall. Many later civilizations, the Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians, built upon Sumerian knowledge, spreading its ideas across the ancient world. In fact, we still use some of their innovations today. Let's explore how Sumer shaped the world and left a lasting impact on history. The Akkadians, the First Empire, from 2334 to 2154 BCE. After the Sumerians, the Akkadian Empire rose to power under King Sargon of Akkad, around 2334 BCE. Sargon united multiple Sumerian city-states, creating the first known empire in history. The Akkadians adopted Cuneiform writing from the Sumerians and spread it across Mesopotamia. They continued Sumerian religious traditions, worshipping gods like Anu and Enlil. Even though the Akkadians conquered Sumer, they preserved and built upon its culture, ensuring its legacy lived on. The Babylonians, the rise of Hammurabi, from 1894 to 539 BCE. The Babylonians, led by King Hammurabi, took Sumerian ideas and expanded them further. Hammurabi's code, one of the earliest legal systems, was inspired by Sumerian laws. Babylon kept cuneiform alive, using it for government records, trade, and literature. The Babylonians also advanced Sumerian mathematics and astronomy, improving timekeeping and star charts. Sumer laid the groundwork, but the Babylonians refined and spread these ideas across a much larger empire. The Assyrians, masters of war and organization, from 2025 to 609 BCE. The Assyrians, known for their powerful army and vast empire, were also deeply influenced by Sumerian culture. They used cuneiform to keep records, write laws, and maintain control over their vast lands. They worshipped many of the same gods as the Sumerians, continuing religious traditions. The Assyrians developed a more structured government, improving upon the city-state model of Sumer. By expanding on Sumerian governance and administration, the Assyrians helped shape modern bureaucracies and military strategies. Sumer's influence on modern civilization. Even today we still use many ideas that originated in ancient Sumer. Writing and communication. Sumerians created cuneiform, the first writing system, which led to modern alphabets. Their record-keeping methods influenced contracts, laws, and storytelling. Timekeeping and mathematics. Sumerians invented the base 60 number system, which is why we still have 60 minutes in an hour and 360 degrees in a circle. Their early astronomy helped develop the 12-month calendar based on lunar cycles, laws, and government. The first legal codes came from Sumer, influencing later systems like Hammurabi's code and modern law. The concept of city-states and kingship inspired later governments and political structures. Urban planning and infrastructure. Sumerians built some of the first organized cities with streets, markets, and temples. Their irrigation systems laid the foundation for modern water management and agriculture. The Sumerians may have lived over 5,000 years ago, but their inventions and ideas still shape our world. From writing to government, timekeeping, and city planning, they provided the foundation for every civilization that followed. So we've just explored the world's first civilization, Sumer. From inventing writing and mathematics to building the first cities and legal systems, Sumer paved the way for human progress. Even though this civilization disappeared thousands of years ago, its impact can still be seen in our language, timekeeping, and government today. Without Sumer, the world as we know it wouldn't exist. History is full of fascinating stories, and there's always more to discover. Which ancient civilization interests you the most? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to cover it in a future video. If you enjoyed this deep dive into ancient history, don't forget to like this video to support the channel. Subscribe for more historical deep dives. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next